Hi guys, story recaps here. I am going to explain a 2014 fantasy comedy horror film called Vampire Academy. Please try to like or dislike the video, it is important to us. At the beginning of the film, we see a girl named Vasilisa. Her entire family was engaged in an accident, which has caused her tremendous stress. Because she's been having dreams about this incident, which terrifies her to death. Vasilisa is supported by her friend Rose during her difficult moment. When Vasilisa felt afraid, Rose came to comfort her. When she finds that Vasilisa has skipped dinner, she donates her blood to Vasilisa. It has now been revealed that they are both vampires. Rose looks out her window and sees many weird people. They are most likely coming to kidnap or harm them. Because Vasilisa comes from a royal family and is the last member of her bloodline. Many others want to murder her. Rose now wants to send Vasilisa safely and far away. However, on the way, Rose and Vasilisa are attacked. Rose engages in a fight with them. In the meanwhile, another man arrives. He knocks Vasilisa and Rose out, puts them in the car and drives them away. In this scene, we see that vampires, like humans, come in many varieties. In which peaceful vampires reign supreme above all. They are known as Moroi. Dhampir appears on the second number. They are a hybrid of humans and vampires. These vampires work to protect peaceful Moroi vampires. They are known as guardian vampires. We'll refer to them as guardians from now on. Vasilisa's friend Rose is a guardian vampire, as we can see here. That's why she was transporting Vasilisa from here to a safe location far away. The man who took them was a guardian vampire as well. Dmitri was his name. He's come to enroll them in a vampire academy. Vasilisa might live there safely, but on the way, they are attacked by the third species of vampire. They are the vampires that are evil and simply want to create disruption. The guardians with Dmitri fight with the evil vampire and defeat them. In this manner, they securely transport Vasilisa to the academy. The Vampire Academy is a one-of-a-kind universe in which no principle of the world works. Vampires from all over the world come here to learn. As previously said, there are several types of vampires, which is why they study separately. Moroi, the gentle vampires, learn magic, but guardians, who must defend Moroi, train to battle. Now we see Dmitri, the man who kidnapped Rose and Vasilisa, escort them to the principal's office. Rose is scolded by the principal for failing to carry out her job of protecting Vasilisa. Vasilisa is the only surviving member of a royal family, as earlier said. Her safety was crucial. The academy's primary concern was to protect Vasilisa. An old guy appears while the principal scolding Rose. He was Vasilisa's father's friend. He came to stop the principal to scold Rose. But she was enraged and going to attack Rose. Dmitri stops her. He also informs Rose that she is a special guardian and that she and Vasilisa have a special link. As a result, she was able to experience Vasilisa's suffering. She sees Vasilisa in her dreams. Actually, if she moved away from Rose, she would be able to see her. Dmitri claims that such a bond between guardians and Moroi is unusual. That is, between Rose and Vasilisa. As a result of this, the principal leaves Rose. As she walks out of the principal's office, Vasilisa sees a girl she has never liked. Because she teases her all the time and was still doing so. Vasilisa is now concerned as a result of her exchange of words and enters a church. There, she meets a boy who is similar to her since he, too, has no family. We observe something about his family, who were transformed from peaceful vampires Moroi to deadly vampires. That is why everyone believes he is bad and will transform into a deadly vampire. Because of this, no one likes him and he is lonely. In church, we note that the boy and Vasilisa establish a solid bond with one another and become good friends. We observe as Rose drives Vasilisa to the restaurant. Vampire's restaurant was odd, similar to hospitals. Humans came here freely to donate blood, and everyone was taking blood there. They meet another girl at the cafe who is the granddaughter of the man we saw in the principal's office. Natalie was the name of the girl. Because Natalie was a pure-hearted girl. As a result, the old guy asks Rose and Vasilisa to befriend her. In the following scene, we see all of the vampires gathered in a church. They were paying attention to a priest. Meanwhile, there has been a blast. Everyone becomes terrified and escapes. When they come out, they find the words "leave or die" under the image of Vasilisa's parents. That is, either go from there or die. It might be a threat to her life if she does not leave. Following this incident, the principal of this academy became concerned and increased the academy's security. The guardians transport Vasilisa securely to another location. When Vasilisa and Rose were in their rooms in the following scene, Rose gets a dream in which she sees herself in danger. As she enters Vasilisa's room, she discovers a dead fox outside her door. She becomes concerned when she sees this. Rose now tells her senior, Dmitri, that she wants to train to fight in order to defend Vasilisa. In the next scenario, Rose accidentally informs everyone that Vasilisa drinks her blood. Vasilisa explodes with rage and rebukes her. They're both fighting here. Vasilisa leaves Rose and enters a church. Rose uses her vision to try to locate her. She discovers that she is in church with a boy. This is the same boy we see at church at the beginning of the film with Vasilisa. Now we see Vasilisa in the academy's hall, where the queen teases her for leaving the academy. She goes inside her room after becoming concerned about the taunting. The same warning was put on the wall here as it was at church. With this, Vasilisa's, Rose's, and Natalie are concerned. Natalie now tastes the blood on the wall, which was not from humans or anything else other than Morois vampires. This was not the work of a single Moroi, but rather a group of Morois. Vasilisa believes that the girl she dislikes and who taunts her is too responsible for everything. Vasilisa's reputation suffered as a result because everyone knew. She manages to escape the academy. She is now considering using her powers to improve her position. She believes that if she can control everyone's brains, she will be able to remove the negative stuff from their minds. Rose thinks this is wrong, but Vasilisa doesn't listen to her. When Vasilisa refuses to listen to Rose, she becomes angry. Rose leaves the room and sees the same boy outside. That was at church with Vasilisa. He arrives to meet with Vasilisa. After witnessing this, Rose believes that the boy is the one who is putting bizarre thoughts in her head. That's why she tells him she doesn't like him and is just passing the time with him. He feels depressed and leaves as a result of this. Rose then sees a vision of Vasilisa in which she is using magic to impose her point of view on the minds of others. Meanwhile, Vasilisa approaches Rose with Natalie, who is holding a laptop. Natalie claims that this is the laptop of the girl who is always making fun of Vasilisa. Vasilisa's brother has cheated on him, as shown by her laptop. That is why she wants to seek revenge on Vasilisa and her family. Now that no one in her family is alive, she wishes to seek revenge on Vasilisa. Rose finds that the girl who taunts Vasilisa and her friends is wearing a bandage on her hands. This suggests that they wrote the warnings on the walls for Vasilisa. Along with them, they observe the girls meeting with the principal, and as Rose approaches, they stop chatting. In the next scene, we see Vasilisa begin to use magic for anything that may be destructive. Rose is thinking of her instructor, who employed magic. She unexpectedly disappeared from the academy one day. Rose now wants to know what happened to the instructor, but it is banned to discuss her. Rose decided to go to the main office and look for her file, to identify what has occurred as a result of the excessive use of magic. As a result, she was able to protect Vasilisa. Rose now learns from the file that when she uses magic, she turns to dark magic. Strange things happen to her as a result of this. Rose was devastated to learn this. She sees Vasilisa having a nightmare in which her church friend assaults him in her dream. Rose uses vision to see this dream. She becomes concerned and seeks out that boy. Rose now tells him straight up that she lied to him when he came to her place. Vasilisa does not like him. She tells him that she really likes him. She also mentions that she is in danger. Vasilisa must be saved. Rose is now seeking the help of a friend. Vasilisa, Rose, and Natalie are spotted at a party when Vasilisa employs excessive magic. Rose becomes enraged and walks out, followed by Natalie and Vasilisa. Outside, they see that someone has murdered Vasilisa's cat. She uses magic to bring her pet back to life. This time, she uses up all of her strength on one spell. She has several wounds on her hands as a result of the magic. Observing the wounds on her hands, Rose recalls something. She recalls what her master once stated when doing magic to keep Vasilisa away from her. Because, except deadly vampires, at this academy, many others want to use her power. The teacher informed her that they, too, wished to use her power. They couldn't manage her since she possessed a variety of powers. As a result of this, she has gone insane, and she has been sent to mental asylum. It's possible that Rose and Vasilisa are leaving the academy for the same reason. We can notice here that the teacher erases all of Rose's memories after notifying her. Until the day comes when she will require this, since the moment has arrived when they will require all of this. That's why Rose remembers everything. Rose has now told Dmitri everything. And claims that she requires all of her personal information. She wants all of the knowledge that Dmitri easily provides her. Rose is now gathering information about magic with the help of her teacher. After learning everything, she believes that the principal, for the most part, intends to kill Vasilisa. The principal who wants to kill her wishes to establish a new royal family for her. Rose was wandering carelessly when her foot became entangled in a dig. Her foot breaks as she falls. Her foot was well once she regained her senses. She is aware that Vasilisa is responsible for this. Rose and Vasilisa have re-established their friendship. Following that, we see Rose, Natalie, and Vasilisa at a party. Rose was defending Vasilisa from the principal during the party. She realizes the warning was written by the principal and the bad girl. Someone else, though, was responsible for the cat's death. Rose had a vision that someone had taken Vasilisa while she was in the room. She runs to Dmitri and informs him that Vasilisa is in danger and that we must save her. Rose had another vision in the car as Dmitri and Rose were driving. She is aware that no one other than Natalie's father has taken her. He had kidnapped her in order to use his magical powers on her. He is doing this in secret, because Vasilisa may die. After her death, he may be referred to as an uncle of the royal family. That's why they were doing everything. We see that when Rose and Dmitri arrived to rescue Vasilisa, her friend was also present. When Dmitri arrives at the location where they have imprisoned Vasilisa, he struggles with the guards. Rose and Vasilisa's friend go to help her. Vasilisa suffers from the torture of that man. Vasilisa has special abilities because she is a member of the royal family. Because she neither dies nor is attacked by harmful diseases. Vasilisa then releases herself and escapes. When Rose and her friend arrive, they find that Vasilisa has already escaped. There, the old man leaves the deadly dogs, and he arrives as well. He initially shoots Vasilisa, but the bullet hits her friend. Dmitri, the guardian, removes his gun after he shoots Vasilisa again. Vasilisa comes to the rescue yet again. The guy now commands his dogs to attack them. Vasilisa's dying friend uses his powers to murder and burn all the dogs. They were now saved, but Vasilisa's friend was dying, something Vasilisa could not allow to happen. She uses her power to preserve her life, but it takes a lot of magic to save a vampire's life. Vasilisa and Rose pass out as a result of their excessive use of magic. The good news was that Vasilisa's friend was also saved. The old guy was in jail in the next scene. The man was a Moroi, but he pushed all the boundaries of a horrible vampire. He turns his own daughter into a dangerous vampire and assaults Vasilisa. But Rose saves her, and Natalie fights Rose, and by defeating her, Natalie frees her father from jail. Dmitri enters and murders the old man and Natalie in order to save Rose. In the mid-credit scenes, we see Vasilisa teaching the vampires on the need of unity in the Academy's hall. In the last scene, we see the teacher go insane due to his excessive use of magic. She has formed her own army far from the Academy, beyond the mountains. The film concludes by showing an army of vampires. Subscribe and turn on the notification. You can also dislike or like the video to appreciate our hard work.